Welcome to week 2. Now that you know how to change your mindset from scarcity to abundance, now we're ready to actually implement how you go about achieving your moonshot. Number one thing about achieving your moonshot is to really find your obsession. Passion is for losers. Passion is like hobbies. Some people have passion for collecting stamps. I happen to have a passion for collecting rocks from space. But if you're going to go out and achieve your moonshot, you really need to be completely obsessed with it. That means you go to sleep thinking about it, you wake up and jump out of the bed thinking about it. Anything in your life that you're doing, and if you're not jumping out of the bed when you wake up, go ahead and change it. Because if you are obsessed with something, there is no way you're going to be lying in bed doing anything other than thinking about doing something to achieve your moonshot. How many times you hear people and say, I'm really passionate about X. And really, if you have to go and tell someone that you're passionate about it, you really are really not passionate about it. It is something, when you're obsessed about something, there are people all over. They'll tell you, you seem to be really, really passionate about it. Because no one's going to tell you you're obsessed with it, because you need to know you're obsessed with it, but you never have to tell someone you're passionate about something, because your obsession in your action will show everyone how much you care about it. Anytime you're doing something audacious, there are going to be ups and downs. Just remember, life of an entrepreneur is like a heartbeat. It goes up and down and up and down. When it is smooth, you're already dead. So you don't want your heartbeat to be dead. When you have a smooth life, it is no different than having a dead life. Just remember, if you just hunker down, the next beat is going to be up. But always remember, when you're on top of that beat, never get too arrogant, because you know the winter is coming and winter will come. That means keep your friends close, always be humble, and you know when the times are tough, those friends will keep you warm, and you just have to hunker down for the next good time to come up. So as an entrepreneur, expect the ups and downs, because the people who give up are the people who expect the line to be always going up or expecting it to be smooth. And both of them are the sign that are unsustainable. That means when it's smooth, you're dead, and nothing ever goes up forever, is going to come down. So expecting that allows you to go through the hard times. Now, most people will tell you don't sweat the small stuff. But I can tell you that sweating the small stuff is what allows you to constantly be on your toes. There is no detail that is too small or doesn't deserve your attention. In fact, it is not the big thing. Most of the time, the companies fail because people forget to pay attention to the smallest details. Another reason many of the entrepreneurs fail is because they're constantly seeing a whole bunch of opportunities. And that's one of the beauty of the great entrepreneurs. They see opportunity where no one else can see them. But most companies die from indigestion rather than starvation. That means people trying to do too many things rather than doing too few things. As an entrepreneur, your job is to focus on your moonshot. And if you do see an opportunity, you have to realize and ask yourself, is that the one that you actually care about? Is that what you're really obsessed about, and you were on the wrong path? You have to give up something before you start something new. So if you're going to be going out and executing a moonshot, there's got to be one thing and one thing only that you care about. Every day you go to sleep thinking about it, and you jump out of the bed every morning thinking about it. How do you find your true obsession? There are many techniques you can use to find something that you actually care about. The couple of things that I have done in my life is, first question I ask myself is, what are you willing to die for? What is it that you care enough to give up your life? What are you willing to dedicate your life to? And then you live for something that you're willing to die for. The second technique you can apply to find your true obsession is to imagine you have everything that you always wanted. All the money in the world that you wanted, your great family. What is it that you will do if you had everything? And if you do that now, you're going to likely to get everything that you always wanted. That means start backward. What is it that you would have done if you had everything, and do that and then you will get everything that you want. The third thing is that you have to ask yourself, the thing that I'm doing, is it really a big enough idea? Is it really a moonshot? And the way to do that is ask yourself, God forbid, I'm actually successful in doing what I'm about to be doing. Would it really improve the lives of billions of people? If the answer is no, think bigger. Think that, because it takes a long amount of time. It takes a lot of effort. It doesn't matter whether you're doing something small or you're doing something big. It takes the same amount of energy. So why not think big? So if you're going to be doing something, it better be worth doing. That means even if you're successful and if it's not going to help 1 billion people, are you really doing a moonshot, or are you really thinking too small? Many of you are probably thinking, what if I have multiple obsession? Now let me tell you, you don't have multiple obsession, because when you're obsessed about something, you don't have a time to obsess about anything else, right? So you may have multiple hobbies, you can have multiple passions, but you can only have one obsession, because obsession consumes you. When you are obsessed, there is absolutely no time to think anyone else. Now, that brings up another point, is that, a lot of you say, oh my God, I don't want to be obsessed. I want to have this balanced life, the work-life balance, which is what I want in my life. Now, the interesting thing that I found, having been an entrepreneur for 30 years and having done 7 companies, is there is no such thing as work-life balance. Because the minute you believe that you need to balance your life between work and personal life, you have already assumed that work life and a personal life cannot live together. They are mutually exclusive, and that's the only reason you want to balance something, because they're mutually exclusive. I believe that personal life and a business life is a continuum. In that continuum, there are times there is more of one, and there are other times there is more of other, but there is never a balance. So in the continuum of life, you integrate your work life and a personal life as one homogeneous thing, and there are going to be days that are going to be more or less of other, but there is never going to be a balance in your life. Going back to your obsession, you cannot be obsessed with making money, because that's a wrong obsession. And I think in one of the previous episodes we talked about making money is a byproduct of doing things that you actually obsess about. That means your obsession has to be about solving a problem that has potential to impact billions of people's lives. You cannot focus on the end goal. You cannot focus on simply about making money. The money will follow if you can actually help lots of people live a better life. Don't measure your success by how much money you have in the bank. Measure your success about how many lives you've been able to improve. So here's your daily task. There are 2 tasks I'm going to give you. Ask yourself, if you had everything in the world, what would you do? And then do that now. And the second thing is to write down, what are you willing to die for? And are you willing to live for it? Write down your answers and share with your tribe. Obsession with your vision is an important aspect of moonshot thinking. However, the obsession you have must be directed towards improving people's lives. Tomorrow we're going to discuss how do you create your vision. In the meantime, keep dreaming and shoot for the moon.